Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Olayola, and this is the channel of healing with a dash of humor. Now before we begin, I'd just like to thank you all for subscribing and tuning in. It really means a lot and I'm grateful. Now today we'll be talking about how do narcissists become, how do we handle these people, and how do you recognize that you are in a narcissistic relationship. And later, we'll be looking into the case of the 21-year-old student, Bafana Mahungela, who is charged with the murder of Kirsten Kluyts, a teacher from Sandton, Johannesburg. Now, for the longest time, this guy has had me convinced that he is innocent.
It's my mom.
Bafana looks and sounds innocent. I see him as very smart and calculating, especially because of his confidence when defending his crime. For him to think he can fool a whole nation and be able to get away with this kind of crime screams narcissist to me. I'm not diagnosing anyone, but it's just not normal for a 21-year-old to act like this. It is not. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So how do narcissists become? Are they born like this? Well, there are different theories, and some of them are soft parenting, overspoiling your child, giving them everything and anything they ask for without being able to tell them no. Basically treating them like the golden child, like they can do no wrong. And some people say that making a child feel overimportant makes them grow up navigating life like they are superior, like they can do no wrong, they get everything they want and anything they want whenever they want it, and that leaves them expecting the same treatment from everyone else. Remember, we are not raising children, we are raising adults. Another theory is that they come from the extremes of parenting, either being neglected or abused. And this can be a reaction of, I am going to be so arrogant, I'm going to get them before they get me kind of strategy. They become so self-protective and so hard on everyone else, navigating life like this is never going to happen to me again, so I'm going to get them. So I'm going to abandon them before they abandon me. So all in all, these things may come from a childhood trauma. These are just theories, they are not facts. So we can't go around pointing and looking at parents as if they're not doing a good job or judging the way they choose to parent their kids. These are not facts. Some researchers think genetics may also play a role in the development of narcissistic personality disorder. I think anyone can change if they genuinely want to change, but it should come from within. It should come from the person who actually wants to change instead of enforcing an action on them. If you're not a narcissist and you have empathy, then understanding it and being able to stand in your power makes navigating them much easier. There are some mental illness problems which have a prognosis, for example, anxiety and phobias, and that you can deal with. But when it comes to personality disorders, some don't have a prognosis and it can be really difficult. In the narcissist's eyes, they believe what they're doing is working for them. They believe they are doing no wrong. So if you do not see a problem, how can you acknowledge that you are doing something wrong in other people's lives? Narcissists live in a fantasy world where they believe they are the best and they can do no wrong. They believe they are superior and unique. And that's where the victim mentality derives from. Everyone is attacking me. I am innocent. Everyone hates me. Not realizing or refusing to realize the damage they cause in other people's lives. So what's there to fix? You can't change what you can't acknowledge. So how do you deal with it? Do not allow yourself to be dragged down by their ego to the point where you cannot do enough to make the narcissist happy. Do not let the narcissist determine your worth. Do not let them have the power to determine how you feel. Keep your spirits high. Narcissists are determined to drag you down. They're determined to make you feel less than. Remember what I always say, you are worthy, you are loved by God the Almighty. So that should give you enough strength to stand up and stand in your power. Know your worth and give yourself self-love. They either have to build themselves up so they feel equal to or superior, or they'll shoot you down with their words, of course, making you feel less than, worthless, useless, whatever bad name you can think of, just so they could get their supply from you. They can't be in a down position ever, so don't allow them to tear you down. Don't take the bait or be the bait. They can say anything that's offensive to overstep your rights, and they can do this by gaslighting. They're going to talk to you in such a way that anything you say or do is your fault. Anything they do or say is still your fault. It's always, I didn't say that, I'm not mad, what's wrong with you? It's always going to be your fault. Which leads us to this story. He stands accused of premeditated murder of Kirsten Kluyts. 34-year-old Kirsten was pregnant at the time the murder took place. She had been taking part in a local sporting event. Her post-mortem results showed that Kirsten was murdered with a blunt force object and strangled. Sadly, she succumbed to her injuries. Bafana denies any connection to her murder.
You had no rag?
No,
You removed the rag?
I removed the rag.
The CCTV footage and timestamps put Bafana at the scene. Further contradicting his story, Bafana explains that he wore the deceased's clothes as a way to not get implicated in being the one who committed the crime. Now, this case is still ongoing, and there's quite a lot of evidence stacked against Bafana, which isn't making him look good at all.
And then days after it happened, the security guard was in contact with the father.
Yes.
Bafana Mahungela's father. Okay, the security guard then comes to us at our door, and then he says to us, okay, he was on the call with this boy's father and wanting his phone to be paid because it's brand new, and this boy broke it on the concrete floor. And then he had broken James' glasses and stepped on them with his heel. Okay, the father spoke to us through the security guard's phone to say that this boy has never been like this, that he does not know. He hopes that we forgive the boy and he's gonna come so that we resolve this as the father of this boy, who is responsible for this boy, and as someone who's paying rent in the complex whom the unity is under, you see?
Yes.
I was surprised to learn that Bafana's father knew about his son's problematic behavior, and I understand that it can be difficult dealing with such as a parent. But the question is, could anyone have done more to prevent the future events that were to come? Sisanda is a woman who lived in the same complex as Bafana. She lived with her partner James and their daughter. Let's take a listen as she describes her experience with Bafana.
And then I'm seeing headlines, and then I start becoming interested until these news feeds start flooding my timeline. You see, on TikTok, I wouldn't call it timeline, only Facebook that is timeline. But when you keep swiping up and they keep showing, and then I see it, I start becoming interested. And then as I watch more and more of them, more pages and more pages with that story are showing up. And then I become shocked and thinking that, okay, I don't understand what happened here. I see a picture of him wearing this blue t-shirt that the lady was wearing moments before he was captured on that camera. I start thinking to myself, because this guy once followed me from the swimming pool, you see, did he mean to do the same thing to me? It scared me a lot, and knowing that he knows where we live and he knows my unit number, he used to be used to be in the same complex as us. And it just caught me by surprise.
Yes.
And I was scared. I'm not gonna lie, I was scared. It started giving me anxiety after I could see the facts on TikTok and everyone talking about it on social media.
Yes.
I started seeing the facts. I'm like, this is what he meant to do. That 4th of September 2022, when he followed me with my 8-year-old daughter. At home, we pray on every Sunday. We have a pray. Me, James, and my daughter. That family pray, that intimate thing. We are house people, by the way. We like being indoors. We don't go out except we're going to do grocery shopping, you see, or to do important stuff. Okay, what happened that day was I woke up as usual. James had taken out the meat from the freezer to fry because he's always doing the frying and I'm doing the cooking in the inside.
Yes.
And then it was very warm that day, very, very warm. I cleaned the house, tidied up, and then told him that, okay, me and Kerry are going to be going to the pool. Well, I don't know how to swim, but I just get inside the water and just relax.
Typical
there.
black person.
Yes, I'm scared of drugs. Yeah, typical black person, you can say that. Okay, what happens is I get to the swimming pool with my daughter.
Yes.
There is 2 girls who look like teenagers, I would say around 18, 19. But since I'm 31 years old, I would say they are very young. I mean, when I look at myself in the mirror, I don't look like them no more.
Yes.
So, yes, they are very young. And then I see this boy, he looks very young as well, younger than me. Okay, I greet a normal hello as you would when you find people sitting in an area that you're going to. You find people sitting there, like I found you guys sat there. I greeted, yeah, that's what I did. I didn't talk to no one. It was like, hello, hello, that was it. I carried an ice bucket that had my beer and my daughter's water with ice in it. And when we got there, I put it on top of the tables on the porch. There's a porch next to the clubhouse. Yes. I put it there on one table that was not occupied by anyone. And then on their table, they got a bottle of vodka, their own ice bucket. But this bottle of vodka didn't have any mixer or anything. It was just in an ice bucket, and you could see that they had been here because there were bottles of juices, empty juices. Okay. I'm not talking to them. I'm with my daughter. James is frying on the balcony. He had started his fire.
Yes,
but he's fine. I get there. This boy then speaks to the girls. There's a little argument in their corner. Far from us, we really cannot hear what they're arguing about. These 2 girls decide to then take their stuff they came with, which was towels and flip-flops, to just get out of the swimming pool. One of them is wearing his boxers. You see these check boxers that the guys like wearing, that you can clearly see that this is for a guy. You slept at the guy's house and you woke up to wear his boxers. Yes, she was wearing that.
Yes.
They said they are going to his house to change. They are leaving. He did not follow them. He remained with us there. He then got up, went to my table. He took my beer without asking me and then opened it, and then I look at him with the look that is speaking, obviously, that hello, that's mine.
What the hell?
And then he's like, yo, I could use some black. I could do with some black. Can you please give me? And then when I look at him, he looks like someone who did not sleep at all, because he even has this white stuff around the mouth. The saliva is thick and it's turning white.
Yes.
So I'm that person who's easily, like, I would say I'm an essential vomiter, you see. So I don't like sharing, especially with this. So I'm like, okay, fine, you can have it. And then there's James on the balcony looking at me talk, that you can have it. And then he starts calling me like, oi, you need to come back with his arm.
Yes.
See here. you need to come back from the pool. The food is almost ready. Okay. I'm like, Carrie, we don't want your father's attitude today. Let's just go out, get out of the pool and go back to the house.
Yes.
Take our towels, we wrap around. We walk back to the house. Okay? We get to the house, we change. I think about 15 minutes later, there's a knock at the door. I've already changed into tights and a t-shirt, and our unit, you wouldn't tell where it is if you didn't follow the road going to it.
Yes, yes.
You can only see through the balconies because it's blocks and blocks and blocks. It's a complex, remember?
Yes.
So it's got passages to go into the units, you see. Okay, fine. We get inside. 15 minutes later, there's a knock at the door. And then James, obviously I'm in the lounge with James, but I didn't think the knock would be someone I've just seen.
Yes.
And then this person shows up. James opens the door. And then when I look, it's this guy. And then he's carrying a happy bubbly. And that vodka I found with him by the swimming pool.
Yes.
But he's alone, not with the two girls that he was with that left him in the pool when we were still there.
Yes.
He's alone. And then James opens the door. And then this guy starts saying like, I don't know whether I'm at the wrong door. And then he looks at me, he's like, oh no, I'm not in the wrong door. May I please come in? I just want to come chill here. And then James says no. He closes the door and locks the door. He knocks about 3 times and then he disappears. And there's James left talking. And I think the incident happened around half past 2 to 3. You see,
In the afternoon.
It was in the afternoon, yes, when he knocked first time. And then, okay, James is sulking. I went out because I'm always fraternizing with guys. Okay, so we end up arguing. I'm like, you know what? It's really annoying to have a partner very older than you because they don't trust themselves. Please leave that. That is just an argument between us, you see. Okay, we get over it. We eat. Later, it was already dark, past 7 to 8.
Yes.
I'm upstairs with Carrie. And then there's a knock at the door. James won't open. Oh, okay. I missed the part before he came back later in the evening. After he knocked, that first time he knocked and James closed the door on him.
Yes.
He knocked to say, can I come in? I don't know whether I'm in the wrong door or not. And then he sees me, he's like, no, it's the right one. Can I come in? He's got a bubbly, happy bubbly, this pipe thing they smoke.
Yes, yes.
And then a vodka, that bottle of vodka I found him with. After it did not manage to get in, he knocked and knocked and knocked. And then James called the gate, the guards, of which during the day there's one guard. His name was Daniel. He came. And then when Daniel got there, he met the guy at the parking lot coming down from our stairs.
Yes.
Yes. And then he came up to our unit number. And then he's asking Mr. James, what's going on? And then Mr. James is explaining, there's this guy who's very drunk here who won't stop knocking at the door. This guy just forcefully wants to get inside. Okay, Daniel goes to talk to the guy to say, no, don't do that again. Here, we don't go to people's units knocking.
Yes.
We don't care whether you wanted to chill or what. If the person does not invite you to their unit, you don't
You are
do
not
that.
welcome.
Yes, you are not welcome.
Yes.
Okay, he then disappears like that. The day goes by. Around past 7 to 8, there's an aggressive knock at the door, but I'm upstairs, I can hear it. We live in a 2-bedroom apartment and it's got a loft.
Yes.
So with this loft, there's my daughter's toys, everything. She's got a lot of toys and her wardrobes are upstairs. Her TV is upstairs. So we are there playing. There's this aggressive knock and it does not stop. It goes on and on and on. I then decide to go down and open myself because James can hear the knock. Instead, he's just chilling on the lounge and not opening. And he's like that. He doesn't open for anyone whom he didn't invite anyway.
Yes.
So I go and open the door. It's this guy. I close the door. He put his foot right in front of the door so that I cannot close the door. He forcefully wants to come in now. He's changed what he was wearing earlier. He's wearing shorts, a blue vest, and a black baseball jacket. He's got shades. And then he says to me, I brought your shades. And then I see that, okay, these shades, I was wearing them, but I had forgotten about them that time when I got to the swimming pool because I took them off and put them on the side, which means I forgot them. I left them there. And then he took them. And then later he says, I brought your shades. Okay. I attempt to take the shades. He does not want to give them to me. He pulls back the hand. Then James comes to the door to ask him, WTF, what do you want here? What are you looking for? And then this guy he just burst out with anger and accused James of calling him the K word earlier, of which there was no fight earlier, there was no argument, there was nothing. But he just accused James of being racist and calling him the K word, and there was never any of that. So they start arguing about that. So what happens is this guy drags James out of the door outside. Remember, our door is right in front of the stairs going down.
Yes.
He pulls James with a t-shirt. I try pull James back because I see where they're going. They're gonna roll down the stairs and it's very dangerous. It's concrete stairs. And then they start fighting. Physical fight. It's physical. I can see this guy's rage. And I'm like, this is a very young man with power. And James is old. He can never stand this man with the physical fighting. You see? I then intervene in that fight, in that violence. We help each other beat up this guy. But yes, the power in that guy, I'm telling you, James wouldn't have done it alone. We fight him together, and I could feel that guy's fists on me, that if he hits you with a fist, it's not only gonna be your flesh that's gonna feel it, even your bone feels it. Yes, he's that powerful when it comes to that physical force. Okay, fine. We get inside the door. The doctor is there watching the whole thing as well. We get inside the door. I quickly lock the door. I lock, and then this guy kicks the door. He kicks the door. He's threatening James of how he's gonna stab him, he's gonna shoot him, and that he's gonna hurt him through me. He's gonna prove it to him that he's gonna get him, he's gonna hurt him through me. And we had to call the guards. And the guard that was on duty was lucky for the evening because the one during the day had already knocked off. But he left a report. And then Lucky go adds to that report. When Lucky gets upstairs, the guy is still there. Upstairs, on the door, he won't leave our door. And then Lucky takes out the phone to call for backup. He takes Lucky's phone, Lucky who's a security guard, he smashes it on the ground, and then he even uses his heel to make sure that it's broken. Okay, the backup got there. They tried to defuse the situation, but he was angry at them as well. One of the big guys from the backup ended up slapping him to keep quiet and stop fighting everybody and manhandling the security guards in the complex. They called the police came. 2 police guards came from Sentin police station to come and take that guy away. They told us that, okay, you guys, you're either gonna come open an assault case or for restraining order. Okay. I'm only understanding now, after this big case he's facing now, is, but before I didn't. I thought maybe this someone is drunk, this someone is on drugs. And then the guards are telling the 2 cops who came with the police van that they must take him away because days ago there's a lady in his block that does not sleep. He tried going into her apartment, trying to break himself into the apartment. Luckily the lady was around or was awake, and the lady called the guards that there's someone trying to break in here. Later he went to that lady in his block, but I did not witness it. The guards witnessed it.
Yes.
Yes. So the guards were telling us about that incident, that he needs to go to jail. And then the police take him. And it was on a Sunday. Yes. They took him. They kept him on Sunday night. They kept him on Monday night. They released him on Tuesday morning. And on Monday, we were going to court on Monday morning to ask for this restraining order because James said that he wasn't gonna have time with his work and my school. We weren't gonna have time to be going to court for assault and this. Let's just get a restraining order against him.
Yes.
Okay, we went to court. It was granted to us on the same day. We took it to the police station on the same day so that it can be served by the officers, the police officers.
Yes.
Okay, we waited for a while. The police officers delivered it before the 30 days, but they took time to take it to the guy. They didn't take it on that day. We took that, or on that same week.
Yes.
We took the restraining order to them. They didn't go serve him with it on that week or on those days. They waited. That is why when we got to court, they said that it was served to him. It hadn't been 30 days. We didn't give him enough time. It was served to him a week before we appeared to court. We were supposed to appear in court. And then it was postponed to another date, which was 22. I remember writing it down on the document.
Yeah.
Yes, at 22 September, and then we're going to come back at 8 a.m. We went back there on the 22nd. He came, and he was late. He came, okay, we were first called, and he wasn't available. He wasn't available that time. And then we were moved back into the line. They dealt with the ones that were present.
Yes.
But eventually he showed up with a friend of his. You could tell that he was so tired. He was so hungover, the way he was shaking and having an energy drink constantly. Okay, we were called inside the court. We were told that we're gonna have to come back on another date. Okay, fine. We went back on another date. When we went back, they wanted to postpone again. The guy ended up saying to the magistrate, okay, as it is the end of the year, he is not gonna make it to the next year because this December he's moving to Mpumalanga. And in court, that was not gonna be followed. That, okay, if he's moving to Mpumalanga, we don't see why you guys are continuing with this. And we saw it valid that, okay, fine, he's moving to Mpumalanga, he's certain about that, and he's told it to the court that he's moving to Mpumalanga. We did not see any reason why we should pursue it because he was no more gonna be close to us or in this province we are in, and we believe no one would just go to the court of law and just tell lies like that. And then I remember when he moved out before end of the year, yes. End of 2022. I remember him, it was around December, moving out. He had his family members, and it was December because I remember how I had my sister and her child over for Christmas holidays. Yes, and we were going out to do some stuff at Chili Lane, which is the shopping complex near us. And then I saw him moving, and then I started telling my sister about this guy. I'm like, this is the guy I was telling you about, finally his movie won't have to see any of him. And then since then, we've never heard from him until this incident.
Yes.
Yes, until this incident I saw on social media that shocked me a lot, and it gave me shivers down my spine that had I lived alone, it would be what he could have done to me and my daughter. You see, and maybe he retaliated that way because he didn't expect to find a man in my unit. And the fact that he's gonna come back twice, the first time he didn't give me my glasses that he found in the swimming pool. He comes at night to give me those glasses that I had forgotten by the swimming pool. And then after that, he gets angry, he breaks everybody's cell phone. And James wears glasses to see because he's got a very short eyesight. So these glasses of his were an expensive brand, Oakley. He broke those in half. It's there on that restraining order I got from the court, that it's also written there. And then days after it happened, the security guard was in contact with the father.
Yes.
Bafana Mahungela's father. Okay, the security guard then comes to us at our door, and then he says to us, okay, he was on the call with this boy's father and wanting his phone to be paid because it's brand new, and this boy broke it on the concrete floor. And then he had broken James' glasses and stepped on them with his heel. Okay, the father spoke to us through the security guard's phone to say that this boy has never been like this, that he does not know. He hopes that we forgive the boy and he's gonna come so that we resolve this as the father of this boy, who is responsible for this boy, and as someone who's paying rent in the complex whom the unit is under, you see?
Yes.
And then he was someone who was gonna come and pay for the damages.
Yes.
Okay, we waited and waited and waited for him. He never pitched, and we decided not to follow him
till today.
Yes, but the security guard was doing follow-ups because he needed his cell phone. He ended up blocking the security guard and not saying anything. Yes. And then the security guard told us that he's blocked us. He's blocked me. And I'm like, so what's gonna happen with your cell phone? Why didn't they take his cell phone and give it to you as the replacement? Yes. It doesn't matter how old it is, as long as you got a cell phone to do the things you need to do. That was the last time we heard from that man, and it was the first day and last time when we spoke to him on the security guard's phone to say that I'm sorry guys, I'm so sorry, I don't know what's going over this boy. I promise you guys I'm gonna pay for every damage. You just write down everything you need. And James told him that, no, don't worry, I already wrote everything down.
Yes.
And how much it's worth, and I've got the receipts and when it was bought. Since then, we never saw his father. My first time seeing him was on the video, on TikTok, on the phone. That was my first time seeing that man, of which we thought we would have seen him. He was gonna come to us and say, okay, let's sit down and see how we can resolve this.
Yes.
Instead, they sold us a story that he was moving to Mpumalanga.
I believe everyone wears social masks to an extent. However, narcissists wear masks to hide negative and evil tendencies. A narcissist can pretend for so long. And that will be all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys on our next video. Bye.